What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast. We're taught the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers. Those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And Chris Abacon.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on? So thank you for joining the show. Again, hit up all the websites that go by our name, the other side of the firewall.com, as well as ramcyber.io. We got a book coming out, people. Definitely check it out. If you go to the website, you can see the book cover and all that good stuff. But without further ado, Shannon, how was your...
It wasn't bad, man. Didn't do a lot of media watching. Did a little bit of shopping the other day with the wife. Went out to the outlets. Bought some stuff for myself. It's crazy. I got a problem with my closet to where I put stuff in it and it shrinks everything that's in my closet. Since I retired, this has been an ongoing thing year after year after year. So, every once in a while I got to replenish some stuff. But yeah, did a little bit of shopping, media watching. My wife and I finished up this season of The Neighborhood. It was the season finale. I could tell after watching it through the years, like next year is supposed to be the last year. They've already made it known this next year will be the last season. So I could see it. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, you guys aren't where you used to be, but it's a good series, The Neighborhood. I watched this movie. It's a few years old now, called The Gentleman. Have you guys seen this? Matthew McConaughey is the American that went over to London, became the...
I have heard of the movie. I've never seen it.
Well, they have a movie and they have a TV series too. So the TV series I want to watch is Guy Ritchie, right? Guy Ritchie's kind of hit or miss with me. Like sometimes he puts some stuff out there. I'm like, all right, it's a little ridiculous, but it's called The Gentleman. And Matthew McConaughey is an American that goes to London and he pretty much runs the weed game over there, right? We're not a drug podcast, everybody, but that's just the premise of the movie. But yeah, it's not bad. But Guy Ritchie, if you like Guy Ritchie, you'll like it. But it wasn't bad. But that was kind of it for me, man. I didn't do a lot of TV watching or anything like that. But Chris, regale us with your adventures, of what all you've been doing, man.
There it is.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So I spent a week in Costa Rica. So we decided to go to Costa Rica again from last year just because we really loved it, right? The food, the people, it's just like so friendly to tourists, right? So Costa Rica's perfected the art of a tourist economy where it's just a great time, right? But this year we just basically relaxed in the La Fortuna region, which is like near the volcano Arenal, right? It's near Lake Arenal, but it's basically we stayed at a resort near the volcano, right, which was essentially in a rainforest. The volcano has basically enabled all that vegetation to grow around it. What it is there's like such diverse, it's just such a biodiverse region where just like 20 minutes outside the rainforest, it's almost like you're experiencing different weather. Right? So we stayed in a resort in the rainforest, but it was mostly relaxing. We were able to get like table side drinks and stuff like that. It was fantastic. But we also stayed at there's actually like some hot springs nearby where we stayed in. Right, so the springs are actually heated by the volcano, and they've created like a beautiful atmosphere. It's like you're in a springs in a rainforest. You got a little cabana, you got your little booth or whatever, and they got people coming up to you and asking you what do you want to drink. So it's like that's fantastic. That's the life, right? What's nice is like when you're in the rainforest region, the heat is it's like probably 10 Fahrenheit. Like less hot than if you had gone to like the more flatter region. It's not flat, but like further away from rainforest, you see an immediate like difference because like in the rainforest, you're like all that humidity or it's like shielding you from all that. So it's like 10 degrees, 10 degrees cooler. It's still warm and humid, but it's just like so thick and lush with vegetation. It's amazing, right? You can really just like let go.
I would figure the humidity would make it feel hotter though.
It's different. Like it's hard to explain once you're over there. But the key thing to our, this vacation was I put down my phone, I read a book. I've been reading The Personal MBA. It's a book kind of outlining kind of the concepts of an MBA, but it goes into like stuff like the human mind. It goes into things like working with others and understanding systems, right? So it's a really great book. I'm like halfway through it now. So I'm in the section where it's like working with yourself, talking about like stuff like confirmation bias and stuff like that. But I was able to actually focus on reading during my vacation. Like I was able to read like an hour or two, just relaxing, getting away from the constant social media requirement, like the doom scrolling, all the stuff happening in the world, whatever your political positions are, right? So in some way or another, you're getting sucked in to, some kind of news cycle. And then it's just like, oh gosh, I'm worried. I put that all aside, and it just did wonders for my, just general mental health. It's fantastic. Right. So highly recommend doing a social media or a technology detox for a week. It does wonders for the brain. It did wonders for me. So I definitely recommend it. But that was my vacation in a nutshell. Just treated ourselves to a nice time, right? And that's really it. From a games perspective, not so much, right? Obviously, play it a little bit my brother, right? So doing a little bit of classic, nothing crazy, right? I'm not like addicted to it, right? Like
That's what people who are addicted say.
That's what addicts say.
Right.
I can quit anytime I want.
It's not like I would say it's different because the people that are playing are like, it's not the same anymore, right? I think let's just say the level of language being spoken on the on the just like, let's go back to the Halo and Call of Duty days when we were like in the 2000s. Those are the people I used to play with back in high school, right? Not the same, right? But it's a little bit, it's like almost like, man, everybody here is old, so it's like, it's really interesting.
Got family and kids and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Professionals. I'm sure that's what like half the classic players are. They're like, I just want to relive my time back in the day. So it's like a bunch of guys, older millennials, maybe, or what it is, people that played back in 2000s. So it's really cool experience. And then let's see, music. So one of my favorite bands out there, it's called Sleep Token. They're like progressive new metal band. I'm not sure if the listeners have ever heard of them, but they're one of the only bands that I really like because they incorporate things like hip hop beats, and then they go into like screamo metal in the same song. It's incredible to me. But yeah, their album just popped called Even on Arcadia. It just got released May 9th. So been listening to that. Outstanding album. But they're a great band. Check out Sleep Token. Might not be your cup of tea, but it's mine.
Right. You said it's Sleep Token?
Yes, Sleep Token. They're fantastic. But it's different, right? They're British. They're based out of the UK. They're anonymous, right? The band is anonymous. They wear masks and have body paint on their arms to completely hide their identities while they're in concert, right? It's just a really cool mystique about them. So you would think that they're like heavy metal, Slipknot, whatever, but they're not. They're more. They incorporate different elements of music into their songs. So and it's really cool. And they have this like little lore. It's really cool. Definitely give them a listen. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's really, really cool.
Here's the thing. They're anonymous to you, but somebody's giving them checks to where they know where their names are. Something's getting deposited somewhere, right? So,
I think they have a social media guy that knows who they are clearly, because he like takes pictures of them backstage and whatever. And like, yeah, there's probably some guys with NDAs, and I'm thinking like the people that design their costumes, they probably have NDAs as well, or they're like close family friends. But it's pretty cool. It's a really cool thing. But yeah, that's my 2 weeks.
Yeah,
definitely check it out.
That's awesome. Like, so did you like the mission was to find me a place to live down there?
Oh, there's so many, man. So the thing about Costa Rica, right? You have to to get the most out of it. I would say you got to rent your own car, right? Because there's no like direct transportation. I mean, you can pay for a van or a bus to take you places, but to really get the Costa Rica experience, you need to be able to drive on the roads. And then when you go into like the back roads, they're twisting and winding. You'll see just random plots like "se vende" or "it's for sale," right? They'll say it's for sale here. You'll find a ton of them. Right, so there's probably plots of land. We didn't go towards the beach region, but if you go towards the beach, there's a ton of land that way, and there's a ton of land inland. Me personally, I would like want to be closer to the volcano. I don't think it's like super active, but it's beautiful over that. There's a ton of land, and it's fantastic. I just can't say enough of it. There's a ton of good stuff there.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's like, so when it comes to land, like when we went to Jamaica last year, there was a ton of land down there as well. I'm just like, man, like but it would be cool to live in another country, but it would also, like, I think it would cause stress, right? And the fact that just maintaining two households, right? That's stressful, like being a landlord somewhere else in the world. So vacation, I guess, is meant to just be a vacation.
Yeah.
So
And also, I was thinking, like, if you buy in the Caribbean, you gotta like make sure it's fortified for for hurricanes too. I was thinking about
But
that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's very
if you're buying in like any Caribbean island, the hurricane is like normal. Like, you're gonna expect some type of crazy hurricane every year. Like Florida, it's like, I mean, we get hurricanes all the time, but Florida's so huge that like not every part of Florida is like completely affected.
right.
Versus a hurricane, the entire island swallowed up in the storm,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They act as our not brush
Not brush
guards,
guards.
but
The early threat detectors on how bad.
yeah,
Yeah,
right. They usually knock some of the steam off of the storm before it gets here.
exactly. Unfortunately for them, right? But you know, it's the price of living in paradise, right?
I don't know, man. As warm as these waters in the Gulf are getting, man, it picks up again after it loses a little bit after going over those islands. Like the water is getting warmer, right?
Yeah,
Despite what
very
you
true.
may believe about climate change, and then it just picks up speed again and power.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy times, man. So I didn't have much going on either, right? Like Shannon, what did I do this week? No vacation, so that didn't happen. But coming soon. A lot of social media posting, right? I'm trying to ramp up for the book's launch midsummer, so I'm doing a lot more posting. I finished in quotation marks the website to get it ready for the launch. So there'll be more coming. I'll put like a countdown timer or something like that once I know the actual date, because the book is gonna go to the editor soon to be overhauled, right? So like it's done, but obviously now it has to go to a professional to say, okay, this is what a book should read like, right? She'll take care of that, and then I'll have to do some edits from there. We got our numbers from Nielsen, like we're doing really really well. So 15,000 listeners a week on the radio, 3,000 on the TuneIn app, 400 to 500 downloads. This past couple weeks been 1,000 a week on podcast platforms. So we're doing like excellent. So thank you for those who are listening. Please continue to share us. But with as much traffic as we're getting, I'm gonna need you to also give some ratings. All right, like start leaving some comments, some feedback on those platforms. Like we get it on YouTube, we get comments, but not a lot elsewhere. And then when it came to media watching, The Last of Us Part Two, we've been watching, or Season Two. Like Part Two is the game. Season Two, it's been really ramping up. I like what I've been seeing. So I don't know if you guys have been watching it or not, but I know Shannon doesn't watch The Last of Us. But they're firing on all cylinders, right? And then gameplay wise, I'm still getting through Claire Obscura's Expedition 33 as well as South of Midnight. So I've been playing both of those, and I put them in the newsletter. So newsletter is back, ladies and gentlemen. It's went in hiatus for 6 months. Again, super busy, but I'm going to try to make sure it comes out regularly now over the next weeks to come, right? And also it's a vehicle to talk about the book and share your guys' behind the scenes and stuff like that. Like I got baby Acevedo in this one, right? So, just giving you a little bit outside of our consulting and training and teaching and things of that nature, right? So, but yeah, it's a fairly simple week. Today is Mother's Day, so I'm gonna hop off of here and celebrate with the missus and the kids. So that'd be fun. So happy Mother's Day, belated Mother's Day to all those who are listening. Happy belated Teachers Week, Nurses Week. A lot of weeks take place in May, and then Memorial Day weekend's coming up. So hopefully we'll get to chill then as well. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening. Continue to tune in every day if you're listening to us on a podcast platform, or every week if you listen to us on the radio. We're on 91 FM on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, or the TuneIn app. We're on channel 10 in the DC Fairfax area. I don't get the numbers back on that one yet, so I'll let you guys know as soon as I get those. And we're pretty much everywhere. So, and we're in the top 10% of podcasts. Crazy stuff. Continue to hit us up. All the websites to go by our name, the other side of the firewall.com, ramcyber.io. Hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me on LinkedIn. And where can I find you, Chris?
You can find me on LinkedIn under my name, Chris Abacon, last name spelled Abacon.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.